Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Isekai wa Podcast, your favorite podcast when it comes to anime news, seasonal discussions, and random gibberish. In this specific case, we're going to be talking specifically about Final Fantasy VII Remake, although, in fairness, we're not really talking about seasonal anime today. We're going to be talking a lot about Final Fantasy VII Remake. We are going to hit you with some anime news to start off, and then we'll dive into our Final Fantasy VII discussion. That said, we had been talking for around about 5 minutes before realizing that we weren't actually live.
So there's that.
Yeah, we've literally talked about the first bit of news, and then I realized that we weren't live. Friggin' whoops!
Well, bite the dusto.
Bite the dusto. Yeah, literally.
Let's rewind it.
Rewind. We gotta do a King of Crimson. I have erased the effect, but left the cause. Or no, I have erased. Fuck. Wait, no, I have erased the effect, but kept the cause. King Crimson just works. Okay, it just works. But yeah, with that said, big shout outs to my co-hosts today. We got our boy Scott Report.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
And we got our boy Myruzu Kage.
Hey, what's going on, everyone?
We also have Sun Wukong. He is also here. He is currently just dealing with some stuff, and then he will be joining us in just a little bit. That said, boys, what do you say we actually do the news this time and not, practice round?
Yeah, that sounds fun. That's kind of random. It's like,
let's get into it.
King Crimson actually does work. It's just, I think back in like that part of the 90s, people didn't know what video editors were, so...
It does work when you think about it. Like, when people say, like, King Crimson just works, I'm like, no, the anime told you how it worked. It's just for a long time, it didn't, Anyway, anime news. Let's go ahead and talk about, of course, the first big anime news. Delays. Oh, delays.
More delays.
Yeah, unfortunately so. The first big show that got slapped with a delay was, of course, Black Clover, postponed as of episode 133 until further notice.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, because I think we rained down too hard on Black Clover when it first came out.
For sure.
It's a serviceable show. It's not the best, but the dub is pretty cool, and it's just something you can kick back and watch.
Yeah, it's I'm gonna have a crying emoji for my Animal Crossing character because this is the sad news. Poor Black Clover. We got more delays. Gundam Build Divers Re-Rise postponed as of episode 19 until further notice.
Who cares?
Yeah, that's a big who cares, I guess. The third and final show... Fan. What's that?
This is from a Gundam fan.
Yeah, damn, poor Build Divers. The third and final show that I am aware of as of this week that was postponed was Kingdom Season 3, postponed as of episode 5 until further notice.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that Kingdom got postponed, too.
Yeah.
It just started.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
There's like a whole... There's a whole list that Crunchyroll is keeping.
I was gonna get to that.
Sorry.
Beating me to my news. But yeah, like somebody.
To be fair, you give me a list of what we're covering today. So.
Well, fine. Jeez, here's the list. Just let me. Jeez. Here's Zalisto. Remember when I used to do Zalisto? I remember. There we go. That's our articles for today.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's pretty... Yeah, as Sun pointed out, there is currently a list of delays over at Crunchyroll. They've been good enough to keep track of that. So, if anything, and if you guys are behind and you want to know what got delayed... What?
Oh, no, we didn't get there yet. I'm so sad. I didn't know that. Fuck.
Oh, is it the second thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to get to that in a sec. Yeah, that sucks. But yeah, it's the list of currently delayed anime projects that not just including like anime stuff, that also includes like cons and English dubs, stuff like that. Those are also Crunchyroll has all of them listed. What's delayed, what's not. Next big news. Jack Jean is delayed. The upcoming Jack John. Sorry.
Jack John. Okay.
The upcoming Otome game has been pushed back from August 5th to December 3rd. Although in fairness, this is seemingly not due to coronavirus.
Okay, that's fine then.
Yeah, this was seemingly.
Plus, there was no localization planned this year, right?
Yeah.
That's the Japanese release, so I mean. Okay.
In fairness, I'm probably going to find a way to play it anyway.
I was just going to get the Japanese. I was going to import it anyway, so that sucks. But.
Yeah, it's
they
super
did.
sucks.
They did they are canceling they're actually canceling the Symphogear game for globalization at least.
Damn.
Oh, seriously? Like straight up canceling?
The globalization version, the global version because of coronavirus probably didn't make enough bread because Yeah, that was announced too.
That's rough. On the plus side, Ishida has blessed us with some lovely illustrations from the game to hold us off, and they are very pretty. I don't know if you guys have seen them on Twitter or not.
I've seen a bunch. I love it so much.
It's
Ishida. I gotta get it.
No, it like the artwork he posted. There's one in particular. I'm looking at it right now. It's on the man's Twitter. You all follow Ishida on Twitter. I don't have to tell you. But but there's a lovely shot of like a group of like I assume like the main cast, like everybody dancing, and it's Ishida, so it looks friggin' awesome. It's too bad that it got postponed. It wasn't like at first I was like, it's not that bad. It's a pretty it's a couple months. Like that's a pretty big hit, but
yeah,
it'll be out before you know it.
I was gonna be on. Was it mobile or?
No, Switch.
Switch. Switch. That's right.
Or as I call it, the Swatch. Moving on, we have some character visual news. We got World Trigger showing off its B-class captains in prep for Season 2. Toshihisa Kaya is returning for designs, and it is being helmed by Morio Hatano from the Future Trunks arc of Dragon Ball Super.
Hey, fire.
Yeah, that's actually kind of cool.
Actually, that's the main madman behind Dragon Ball Super's success, to be fair.
100%.
They are.
Yeah, Hatano.
I'm still so excited for that to come back.
I gotta catch up on World Trigger.
I need to also.
Yeah.
Because it's not even like I dropped it because it wasn't getting good. I just fell off for some reason.
Right.
That happens a lot to me.
I feel you.
Miles. It's like, and because it's by like, with Toei, it's like they kind of have their certain type of looks with things. It's like when I was watching Digimon, I was like, wow, this really reminds me of watching World Trigger, just how it looks.
Right.
Yeah, they do. They definitely have like a specific style. Jotaro Kujo says, do more live streams. I will try, Jotaro. We'll see how this one goes. The last time we did an Isekai podcast, I woke up with a bitchin' headache. So if I wake up with a headache tomorrow, I probably won't do Isekai podcast again for a little bit. But maybe I'll turn the news segment into like its own video. Bring back otaku nonsense news or something. I don't know. Because I like doing the news. I like being a newsman. You guys know I went to school to be a newsman?
Really?
Yeah. I went to TV broadcasting. I was supposed to be in news. Anyway.
Fun fact.
Fun fact. Fun fact. It's like, did you know gaming? Like, did you know? JoJo talks too much. Went to school.
Did you know?
Did you know?
Before they were famous.
Yeah, but before
they were famous.
More character visual news. Tiger and Bunny shows the rest of Stern Build's finest as Masakazu Katsu returns as character designer, and the series is now being helmed by Mitsuku Kase, who is known for the Young Blackjack series.
Too far off for them to be showing anything of this series.
Yeah, this doesn't come out till 2022.
2022, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you even announce this early?
Right.
Like, I'm happy to know it's happening, right? But, like, why?
I don't know. Right. But in fairness, everybody's still looking good. Like, when I saw the character designs, I'm like, right on. Everybody's still looking good. That's
Sky High!
Sky High looking great.
Oh, the legend.
Yeah. Next bit of news. We got some casting news. Yuichiro Umehara has been cast in Fruits Basket Season 2. Yuichiro...
Oh, I already know who he's playing.
Yeah, I always mispronounce this dude's name and I always feel terrible. Yuichiro Umehara, who is the voice of Seiya in Cautious Hero, and he is good old GS from Goblin Slayer, has been cast as Kureno Soma and will appear in the next episode of Fruits Basket Season 2. As for the dub, it is being helmed. The character is being voiced by Ian Sinclair, who's Whis from Dragon Ball Super. He is, I believe, he is Berkut from Fire Emblem Shadows of Valentia. One character is awesome. The other character is an asshole. But he will be playing the character in the dub. Fun fact: I know so little about dubs and their actors that I thought Ian Sinclair was the voice of Trunks, and I was surprised to find out that was not true.
Isn't the Fruba dub also delayed?
The Fruba dub is delayed, yeah, but I don't think it's like indefinitely delayed. I think they're trying to do it from their homes.
Got you.
Yes.
But yeah. So if you're a dub fan, you got Ian Sinclair, and I will say I actually do know the man's voice. I know what Whis sounds like, and I know what Perkut sounds like. So I actually know this voice, and so good voice actor. And Umehara, I've liked Umehara since Darling of the Franxx. He played Goro, so yeah, I'm all for this dude being in Fruba. I think his voice will fit. I think it'll be good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Moving on, we got some PVs. Wave reminded us that it still exists with a teaser trailer, confirming the series to be a 3-part film helmed by Takaharu Ozaki. Sorry, I'm terrible. Takaharu Ozaki, who is the director of things like Girls' Last Tour and Goblin Slayer, which was a surprise. I didn't know that he was actually attached to direct this, which is kind of interesting. It tells me that Wave might actually have sort of like a melancholic vibe to it. The PV doesn't really show that, though. The PV is kind of like upbeat and fun. So I'm very curious to see what Ozaki actually does with the series. I think that'll be kind of neat. Of course, the huge PV that dropped this week was The God of High School, showing off way more action and characters, building up some solid hype, and it is being helmed by, oh god, Sung-Hoo Park. Shit. Sung-Hoo Park, who is
I'm gonna get you like lessons, Jojo. I'm gonna get you lessons for accents.
Thank you very much.
I'm excited.
I dropped my controller. But Park is the director of Garo Vanishing Line is the thing that I know him from. He's also directing something else that's coming up. I don't remember what it is, but he's directing... he's the dude who's going to be directing Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did they say who's doing that yet?
No,
Like,
I only know he's attached to direct.
I think they might have. I don't remember, though.
So
Yeah, I heard Mappa, but then they came out with Tower of God, and it was like, oh, it's not Mappa.
I will say, this dude Park, if the fact that he's directing Jujutsu Kaisen, and the fact that Garo Vanishing Line, the only thing I remember about it was that the action was hype, has me very intrigued for a series where the only thing I give a shit about is the action. Because I'm not gonna lie, God of High School looks action-packed as hell. Like, that PV got me wicked hype.
Right. I was like, okay,
This is a different PV too, right?
Yeah, this is a brand new PV. This is like,
Okay, yeah.
It was like a 2-minute one.
Yeah.
Because I've actually seen like the initial webtoon PV that came out like a long time ago.
Yeah.
Before the anime got announced or whatever. It, like someone created it, and it was probably the most ridiculous like PV I've seen, and it was really good too. And I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Can't wait for this.
I will say, like, I used to like I heard about God of High School like years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that guy looks like Goku. Like, that was all I knew. And then I watched the PV. I'm like, oh, that guy is Goku. Like,
Right.
Like, he's a talented martial artist. He has a cool grandfather who seemingly also was a martial artist, who is seemingly not around. Sent him off to some new school where he's going to learn more martial arts, and all he wants to do is fight really strong guys in a tournament. He is Goku.
Hashtag tournament arc.
Yeah, he like literally. I was like, tournament arc. And this dude is straight up teenage Goku, only not evolution Goku. Like, this is teenage Goku done properly, and I'm kind of all about it. But yeah, I'm
It's
excited.
like an eternal,
What's that?
infinite tournament arc.
Yeah, infinite tournament arc. I'm kind of
Sorry
all
to
about it.
interrupt, but I just got a community guideline strike, and they didn't tell me what for.
Jeez.
Are you serious?
They said you know.
Yeah, my Kaguya video is just gone, and they said that there's no explanation, and I can appeal it, but I don't know what to appeal because they didn't tell me what was wrong with it.
That's really weird. Community guideline strike for what? Like, that's so bizarre.
I don't know.
That's weird.
Anyway, my
It's
bad.
probably Moby.
No, it's YouTube. I think it's a stupid botting system. I don't know.
Yeah, in
Or maybe
fairness,
somebody.
like, they have been saying YouTube is trying to cover its ass by being like, oh, we're not here. So, like,
Well,
they're
no,
doing a
I
good
think
job.
they did say
Yeah.
somebody flagged it for review. So like,
Oh, shit.
somebody sent it to them.
Yeah. I think it's probably somebody just being salty. You may want to actually like appeal it. It depends.
Yeah.
Well, I will say we have one more bit of news.
Ooh,
It's also depressing.
depressing.
Kind of. It depends how you look at it.
Depends on if you're a manga reader.
Yeah. Demon Slayer is coming to a close.
Oh,
This is the last
yes,
bit of
that's
news
right.
for the day. Demon Slayer is reaching its climax with the next chapter on May 11th, the May 11th issue of Jump.
Let me correct that. Demon Slayer had reached its climax like 15 chapters ago.
Right.
Oh, see, I don't read the manga. Like, I'm going off what I've seen.
I'm not going to spoil anybody on anything. I'm just telling you as a manga reader what it's been past the climax. Gotoge dragged some shit out to hit the 200 chapter mark. Like, I love the but I'm not going to sugarcoat shit. So, like, it was clearly dragged. I'm glad. I respect the fact that she's ending it. You know what I'm saying? Like, right now, because it just needs to end now. It needs to end.
Damn.
And if we get a Yaiba in the future, I don't know how it would work, but I'd be there for it. That's all.
That's the thing. Like, I saw some people being sad, and I'm like, we live in the era where, like, everything can get a continuation. Like, I'm not sad about series ending now. I'm like, no, it's just going into hibernation. It may come back,
Right.
and it might not. And if it doesn't, that's fine. The original's still there. Like,
So I think Tie-Dye is
It may either get a continuation or it could get a remake.
yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, I was gonna say the only thing I want to add to this before we jump into Final Fantasy VII Remake is that it's unclear what the future plans are for Gotoge or Jump, but I assume she's going to be taking a long break after writing what has been like a crazy whirlwind of success for them. So I assume she'll
Right.
want to take a quick break to recover and then maybe come back with a new manga, or maybe she'll do like Sun said, Demon Slayer Who knows?
I don't actually want that. I'm just saying.
I don't
If it were to come.
I would read it if it was delivered to me.
Yeah.
That's all.
I would say take a break for a bit and then come back. Or you could do what Samurai 7's been doing and just kind of exist for a bit and then disappear.
Samurai 8.
See, that shows how little I give a
Samurai
shit.
7 is actually a great anime.
Yeah, I meant Samurai 8. Yeah.
Samurai 8. In that end, Kishimoto was like, "Oh, y'all."
Yeah, it
not
got
doing
canceled,
that?
dude. It got canceled.
That shows how much I cared about. Yeah, because I was like, Samurai something. I don't know.
Kishi should just go take over Boruto. That's what he needs.
100%. Just like. Although from what I hear, that's also gotten good. Like.
It's been good. The manga's been quite good.
So it's like, if he comes back in, is he gonna bring in like crazy, I don't know, like Shippuden stuff, where it's like, oh, now you lost.
Well, no, Boruto's manga is well beyond Shippuden's insanity. So,
Oh,
I mean...
fuck, never mind. I don't care anymore. Yeah. But that's it. That's all the Animu news for the week. I hope you guys enjoyed. But more importantly, it is time, my friends, it is time to talk about Final Fantasy VII Remake. Now, before we get into it,
Where's Fu, by the way?
I don't know. I was wondering where the dude was.
Is Sloan coming?
I don't know.
Alright, fuck it. Let's just.
Right.
Before we get into it, I want to give everybody in chat the opportunity to dip out, because we are going to be talking endgame spoilers. We're going to be talking about...
We're going in.
And not only are we going to be going in on Remake, we're going to be going in likely on like the original Final Fantasy VII. Like, we're probably going to be talking about Crisis Core, probably going to be talking about a bunch of shit. So
we wouldn't have if Sloan came, though.
No, we would have tried to avoid it. But since Sloan is not here,
but yeah,
we're going in.
Here,
yeah.
I can't promise you anything. Like, if you've never played the original, I think you'll be spoiled. If you've never watched any of the side content, I think you'll be spoiled. If you never played Crisis Core, you'll definitely be spoiled. The only thing you will not be spoiled on is Dirge and Cerberus, so you can rest easy on
Yeah,
that.
you won't be...
Right.
I may bring up, like, a post-credit scene from Dirge and Cerberus.
Like, if you haven't seen Advent Children, you will be spoiled.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Advent Children, you will be spoiled.
Well, I'll head out the door right now.
What? Have you never seen Advent Children? Do I need
No,
to
I've seen Advent Children. I haven't seen Crisis Core. But
you haven't even beat the OG game, have you?
I got up to basically the second disc. So
yeah, so you still got a ways to go.
But I know all the high notes. I all know that.
Okay.
Yeah,
right,
so
you're not gonna be spoiled. All right.
With Crisis Core, I pretty much know most of the high notes. It's just I don't know if there's like
yeah.
any
So
certain
the
thing.
major parts, you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you know what happens and you're not going to be spoiled about the rest of the game, that's fine.
I did complete Dirge of Cerberus though. So.
Why?
You see,
that's weird.
You didn't do Final Fantasy 7. You didn't play Crisis Core. But you beat Dirge of Cerberus.
I was a kid. I was a kid, okay? My history of Final Fantasy VII was Advent Children, then Dirge of Cerberus.
That shit is so wrong, dude. It's so wrong.
Okay.
I was a kid, man.
I'm gonna count down from 5, and we're gonna spoil some shit. Chat, I already see Tanya's got to dip out because she hasn't beaten it, so fair warning, is going down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What the shit was up with the ending? Explain.
Well, I will go in. I will start by saying, and this is not my quote, I saw this by somebody else, is that Nomura is basically a J.J. Abrams of video games.
I don't like that.
I can't abide that. Yeah,
I hate that statement.
Because JJ.
He's a good J.J. Abrams.
He's a good J.J. Abrams. He's J.J. Abrams who knows what's in the mystery box.
Dude, I feel like we talk about this literally once a week on this podcast because I feel like
we did bring this up last time.
But JJ is just the most overrated director I can think of, dude. Like, it's not that he's not smart, and it's not that he doesn't have talent, but my guy, he's not that good.
What I mean by that is like what he's doing with Final Fantasy as an overall narrative with pulling the Star Trek.
100% he pulled the Star Trek. Like, he totally pulled the Star Trek with this. Where he's like, no, the original happened. But then this happened. It's like, oh, okay. Like,
what did you expect Nomura to do?
But that's the thing. I remember we went through this, right? Like, I mentioned this to you, where I was just like, when I was playing it, I had a moment where I was like, no, because I knew he was doing something weird. And I was like, Nomura, please, no, I just wanted a remake. But then I was too intrigued. And I was like, God damn it, I have to know where you're going. Like,
it hit me early. It hit me very early when he started talking about the Arbiters of Fate, and it's like, wait a minute, these things are popping up when stuff is supposed to happen.
Oh yeah, like once they showed up and started like attacking the bar and Sector 7 and everything, I'm like, okay, we're going somewhere weird, and I'm like I'm really in.
It's super apparent when you do your second playthrough, right? Like, I mean, everybody I feel like had an idea of what Nomura was trying to do with that at first, but like until you know what the resolution is, until you get the explanations in Chapter 17, it's kind of up in the air. But then when you look back on shit that happened when you do your second playthrough, it makes complete sense in every single instance, and actually parallels the internal flashes that Cloud is having at the time. Like especially if you look at that scene, I think it's like. Yeah, Chapter 4-ish, or Chapter 5. Like, the end of Chapter 4, after you do the mission with Jesse and Biggs and Wedge. And then Cloud goes to sleep, and then one of the whispers is, like, hovering over him, echoing Sephiroth's voice, right? And then he dips outside. Jesse gets injured. All as a result of the whisper's actions, because she wasn't supposed to be there, right? And it's just little things like that I think was done really, really well.
Yeah.
Really.
Right, or like something that actually passed, like just like you were saying, it took to the second playthrough and having to remember the original is when you first see Aerith in the little street, and she like is supposed to run away, but she tries to stand her ground, and then they start circling around her like, "No, get out of here!"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's little stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember on Chapter 2, Cloud doesn't even see like the Arbiters of Fate until like Aerith touches him, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the Shinra troopers, they don't see it at all. But it's around like that point where the Arbiters of Fate start ransacking, the seventh heaven and whatnot, that everyone can see them within there. It's weird. So it's like all related to Aerith, in my opinion.
Call them whispers instead of Arbiters of Fate. So it's
that's fine. I mean,
it's just it's so rigid to me, dude.
I'm just going by what Red said.
I mean, no. But Red and Aerith both called them whispers and Arbiters of Fate.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I think the term whispers just sounds better, right? They are technically Arbiters of Fate. That's what they do.
Yeah.
Right.
I like that. Like, okay, this game was so bizarre because it was like I would get excited when I knew what was coming up, right? Because I'd be like, oh shit. Like when you go to save Aerith, I'm like, Red, he's here. Where is he? Like I was just like running around, like, where's my boy? And then when you see him in the tank, like when you have to like leave to the elevator, I didn't even go to the elevator. I just started hitting the tank because I was like, Red, wake up! Like, and when he and I love that Red 13's like, because when they're like, they ask Aerith like a bunch of times, like, what the shit is going on? Like, what is going on? And Red's just like, they're arbiters of fate. And Aerith's like, bro. And he's like, what? Like, you're not saying anything. Like,
right. You imbue me with the knowledge, and you're not
being Willow about it. Right? You're being Willow about it. She's like, oh, you know.
Yeah. She's literally just like, oh, well, blah, blah, blah. Which, in fairness, is keeping with the Aerith character to be like, well, I don't want to tell you because I don't want to worry you. Like,
it's perfect. Yeah. It's just like, the parallel I'm thinking about is when, after you have the fight with Reno for the first time, and then you're, like, scaling the buildings of Sector 5 with Aerith. And Cloud is like, so what the fuck was that? What's good? And she's like, I don't know. You know, maybe they thought I was going to be the world's best soldier or something.
Oh, she's the best. Like, yeah, she's so great.
I loved Barrett's reaction, too. He was like, how do you know that?
Yeah, how the hell do you know that?
Yeah.
It's not true.
Well, there was a part
wait. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say there was a part where, like, when Barrett says, like, how the hell does he know that? Like, about Red. And I just thought of the Matrix where I'm like, some part of her imprinted onto him. I don't know. It really was Matrixy. Like, I don't know. She touched his forehead. He knows shit now. Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it, Barrett.
Right.
It's fine.
Right.
Well, let's not complain. It's not even like y'all even understand what Red 13 is at this point. So
exactly. I was like, I don't
know.
I've played these games for years, and when Red shows up, I'm like, I kind of know what Red is. There's a lot of shit in Final Fantasy VII that I'm like, I don't know, man. Shit's pretty, though. That's what I know.
Right.
I want to ask you guys, did you all get... Because I know JoJo went back for a second playthrough. I know Miles is doing a hard mode. Scott, did you start a second playthrough?
Yeah, I'm on second playthrough.
Okay. Did you... Well, I don't know what order you did it in. Because for me, I did a bunch of like post-game shit, skipping around chapters to prepare for the hard mode. And so I got all of the scenes in Chapter 14. I was wondering if you guys all have seen all 3.
Oh no, I didn't. I only seen
all the scenes for which one?
Like the scene by Aerith's house at night in the flat. Like initially I got Tifa, but then I got the Barrett and Aerith ones as well.
No, I didn't.
Okay, I got the Tifa one.
Me too. I only got Tifa.
You all saw Tifa's,
but I seen the Barrett one over on Twitter.
That one's alright. Yeah. The Aerith one is powerful though. The Aerith one is powerful. If you haven't seen that one, I recommend.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Just looking it up.
I mean, if this whole thing is just building to fucking save Aerith, let's do it.
Like that's the same thing. That's exactly where I'm at. Where I'm like, you know what? I guarantee you, Nomura just kicked open the board, like the boardroom meeting. They're like, "Where's Tetsuro?" And he just kicks the door open, like, "I want to save Aerith." And they're like, "Okay, sure." And like he said,
I love her so much now.
Well, yeah, like he that was now. What he was saying. Yeah,
well, I mean, yeah, I did before, but now it's even more.
Yeah.
Well, that's with every character in this series, to be honest with you. But
like.
I disagree with you both 100%. Like I think for Nomura to actually effectively do that, then he's gonna have to double down and commit to the fact that it goes against what the Whispers are trying to do. The Whispers are trying to bring this timeline in line with the one that happened in the OG, right?
Yeah, but that's by the end of the game, they broke fate or whatever,
right? Here's why they keep showing, Red 13 keeps seeing the vision of what happened at the end where, just like Final Fantasy lore where everyone died. But hey, in the future, everything's okay.
Right. Yeah. But the Life Force can view all those timelines simultaneously, right? And the Life Force believes that the OG ending is the proper course of fate. Yeah. So everything that happens that the Whispers do are trying to bring it in line with that, including Aerith dying, right? Who knows how this separate timeline, which we have to talk about now, but who knows how that is going to influence this?
Exactly, because that was
I've heard various theories about that, but about the whole Aerith situation.
I have a feeling just because it would be the biggest kick in the balls, like I have a feeling he's gonna make you think, like, because me and Scott are convinced it's like, no, it's gonna happen. I have a feeling Nomura's he's gonna make you think you can. That you can change it, that you can save her, and then at the end of the day, the same shit's gonna happen.
Right. I believe two things. I believe one, whatever the fuck is going on, because we have to talk about this Zach shit anyway.
Oh my god.
Whatever the fuck is going on with the seemingly alternate timeline, because I've seen a couple of theories on this. It's not happening concurrently in the remake time. That scene with Zach. It's happening in a parallel timeline.
Mm-hmm.
How that converges will be interesting, but I believe in that timeline there will be an alive. But in this one, it's ultimately going to reconverge with Aerith dying. And maybe the way to save her in this timeline is somehow sending her to the other timeline. But I don't fucking
yeah,
I don't know. It's like, what is this going to do for Advent Children now? Because like,
okay. I have something really cool about Advent Children, right? So with Advent Children, the fucking Geostigma.
You're not saying it right. The stigma. You gotta say it right.
I'm not saying it like that every time.
My boy survived.
He did.
Oh my goodness. This where were you, Ku?
I was finishing the fucking game because you guys had to have this video today, you sons of bitches.
Shit.
I woke up at 3 a.m.
3 days ago. Cool, 3 days ago. I'll be well done by Saturday. I'm on chapter 14. It's all good.
Yeah, and then you know what they did? They threw that bullshit where you have to go through Hojo's lab and do the 2 different teams.
I told you it was long, dude. I told you it was long.
That's awesome.
Or the last battle where if you lose, you gotta start over.
You gotta start all the. You know how mad I was because I did during the Rufus fight. I lost the first time, and I was like, okay, hold on, I don't have the right material equipped. Let me go back, and I accidentally hit go back to last checkpoint, and I was sitting out front of the Hojo elevator again. I was like, fuck, and I turned off.
Rufus Shinra. Just so everybody knows, if you're watching this stream, my entire life has been a giant reference to Advent Children because I love that movie. So every time I'm like, Rufus Shinra.
I love Advent Children.
It's literally just a reference to Cloud's actor being like, Rufus Shinra. A good son would have known.
This Rufus is actually kind of fire. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, Advent Children Rufus is
fucking
fire.
Awesome, yeah.
Yeah.
Rufus,
wow.
yeah.
Rufus is
What do
always
we
cool.
think
Rufus
about
is an
that?
anime villain.
Did he straight up Nova cell himself, or did he just Marco infuse himself, or what? Because he's definitely he's above human level at this point.
No, man, he's just awesome.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing shit that he's doing some shit that's above second class levels, dude. The guy, I don't know those movements. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's got some crazy materia that we've never. I don't know. He must have been using
Rufus has some swag on him. He has a white jacket with 14 different belts on him. I'm like,
dude, that gun is so
man.
sexy too. Oh my, I can't.
I mean, doesn't Rufus in Advent Children? Doesn't he have stigma?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. So he's definitely he's got Mako.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's just weird because if you look at his eyes, you don't really see any hint of that shit. So.
Yeah, but that's because he's baller, and he's like, nah, fuck that. I have cool eyes, cooler eyes, super
14
cool.
different belts.
Plus, in the original FF7, he wasn't anything special. He was just a director kind of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
We didn't even fight him like that. That man didn't make me lose no match in the original.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
I'll tell you what worries me about that. In this timeline, Zack survived, right? And now Rufus has got this higher level.
No, different timeline.
Zack survived in his own timeline.
Yeah,
that's what we've all kind of agreed upon right now is that the Zack survival timeline is running parallel to this remake timeline.
Yeah.
Well, then fuck this timeline.
And then there's a third timeline, which is the original game's timeline.
Yeah. So there's 3 concurrent timelines. Yeah.
That's not how I saw it. I thought it was a sudden reveal that this timeline was already fucked, and that's why the Whispers were showing up already. That Zack was already around.
That's what I thought happened at first. Was that Zack surviving is what screwed things up. But it was that Cloud had 7 seconds to change things, like Sephiroth said. The first thing he thought of was saving Zack. But I think just based off the way things happened and the way that Cloud talks throughout the game, Zack is super dead. Zack.
I don't think he's. I don't know. He could be. It's just the way I thought of it was Zack saved Cloud, left him with his Buster Sword, did the normal thing, but then just left instead of dying on the hill.
No, he wouldn't. Well, Zack wouldn't.
Even that scene with him carrying Cloud back, right?
Yeah.
that to me is what confirms it's concurrently a parallel timeline where like Zack died, and we don't know the interplay between these timelines or how Gaia is fucking doing this shit because it's all the will of the planet at the end of the day trying to converge to the original timeline.
Yeah.
So I feel like Nomura's gonna do some wild shit, dude. Nomura, and this is Nomura we're talking about. This is not only going to affect this is also going to affect the future of Kingdom Hearts.
Right.
100%.
Right? Like,
please just let Kingdom Hearts fucking die.
No, fuck you.
Kingdom Hearts, man.
No. You just don't respect the greatness and the weirdness.
This dude found a way to make Final Fantasy Versus real.
Yeah,
like,
this is exactly. Yeah. Kingdom Hearts is like, no, Final Fantasy Versus is real. Final Fantasy 7 Remake is gonna cross over. That's where Cloud and Sephiroth went at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2.
Nomura already had the Whispers in Remind DLC. He was just preparing. He was just preparing us.
This dude's building a universe, man.
Look, Nomura, that's the thing. No matter how well of a grasp you can come up with theories for what's going to happen, it's Nomura, so you really don't fucking know what's going on.
You have a vague idea.
No clue.
You really don't. But I mean, when it comes down to this game, though, like, I at least hope that there will be repercussions, for the changes that will be had. But no matter what, like, I personally think that Aerith, like, has to die in one way or the other.
Yeah.
But
Kill her now.
there have to be consequences if you're going to change certain things from the original.
There's going to be a convergence of the timelines, so that's the only way I see it. And then Aerith might die, right? But she's gonna. Here's the ending of this remake saga, and I don't know how we get here, but Aerith and Zack are together in this ending. I don't know in what game, or in what sense, or in what timeline, or how it works, but Aerith will be alive, but she will still die when she's supposed to die. If that makes sense.
I think she'll die in the timeline we're in currently. Like, Cloud won't be able to save her. And then, like you said, there's going to be some sort of convergence. That new universe that's been created with Zack out there.
Yeah. They're
going to find a way to get into that one where Zack's going to be able to help shit and save Aerith. Because Zack ain't no Cloud-level pussy. He's an actual soldier.
Oh, come on. Cloud.
I thought you started to like Cloud now.
I do like Cloud, but now Zack's back. We don't need Cloud no more.
I got derailed.
You stick around with the fucking knockoff when the original is back.
My best guess on like I think it's like because a lot of people are like multiple times. I'm like, I think we're gonna focus on 3. I'm sure there is multiple, but I think it's gonna be like in Zack's timeline.
I don't want that to happen.
Nomura loves that shit. There's infinite parallel universes going on, right?
And the thing is, looking forward to the fucking Avengers Endgame kind of shit at the end of this, where it's like Final Fantasy characters assemble, and you get like 10,000 clouds popping out of portals.
That's what I'm talking about in Kingdom Hearts. That's what's gonna happen in Kingdom Hearts, dude.
100%.
They do that in Kingdom Hearts. That's fine. I just don't want to see fucking giant feet, giant hand motherfuckers showing up in Final Fantasy. Don't need that.
Only Sora has disproportional.
I think those are just his shoes. I just
think
Sora's
the Disney characters. No, they have big feet.
Disney characters, cool.
Yeah, like
I want them to stay away from my Final Fantasy.
I don't know if you guys knew. I don't know if you guys knew this prior. I remember I told Ku about this, but I did not know that Maya Sakamoto and Kenichi Suzumoto were married. They're Zack and Aerith, respectively.
So fucking cute. They got married like right after Crisis Core too.
That's so amazing.
Oh wow, that's cool.
That's super freaking cute.
Yeah, speaking of cool, like I got the Turks.
The Turks are like 10 times cooler in this game.
They are.
I do have a theory that I've seen going around. It's not my theory, but it's someone else's theory. And I was just curious what you guys thought about it if I bring it up.
Sure.
Go ahead.
But so with all the different timelines and whatnot, what if like in the future of the series we can actually see Zack popping up into this timeline? Now, if Aerith's death is still permanent, they also brought up that what if the possibility instead of Cloud, like basically, kind of letting her body drift in the water or whatever it was, like it's actually Zack.
Well, the first part of that
Zach's going to know. Zach's going to know.
Yeah, the first one
that
I
find
agree.
out.
Simple reason that as soon as Zach shows up in this timeline, Aerith ain't dying. Zach won't let Aerith die.
But what if it's like inevitable? Like she has to.
No. I think it's one. No. Cool. Hold on. I think that Aerith, in this instance, first of all, I agree. Zach will show up in this timeline, or we'll show up in Zach's timeline, or some coalescence, whatever. That's gonna happen. But I don't think it's gonna be 100% in anybody's control aside from Aerith. And I think Aerith, knowing what she knows, will sacrifice herself purposefully.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't think Zach will show up in the timeline by that point.
Right. I think it'll be after. I think that'll be how you resurrect or like.
Yeah, he's gonna
I think
show
probably
up. Like,
either the end of the second game or the end of the third game will be like this big thing building up to you can save Aerith, we're changing destiny, and then she will die.
Yeah.
Then in the third game, it'll maybe it'll end on the cliffhanger of Zach showing up, or just another flashback to Zach's timeline where everything's going good because Zach's fucking awesome.
I can see Zach like arriving, like, was I too late? And they're like, what? And then the game ends. And you're like, what the fuck?
Right.
Like,
And you know what? Wait, hold on. In the Zach timeline, right? There's a version of Cloud that does not have the trauma and PTSD, and that their mentalities have not combined. I wonder what that Cloud is like.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
Probably
pretty interesting. Actually remembering himself and still, let's be honest, he was broken as fuck back then. Like, how embarrassed is he going to be when he sees Tifa again? He's like, oh, I was there when you got stabbed, by the way.
Right?
I mean, in fairness, like, I did throw Sephiroth down a big fucking hole. He's not dead, though.
No, he did good. It's just going to be a fun thing when Cloud's going to, like, Tifa's going to show up, Cloud's going to go really quiet, and Zach's going to be like, oh, Tifa, hey, Cloud, remember Tifa?
You remember Tifa, right? What? You told me so many stories about how you had a big crush on Tifa. Like,
Remember we met her together? You had the helmet on.
Kill!
Yeah. Zach! Please.
Yo.
It's like a nice Cloud. Because, like, in Crisis Core, he's a sweet boy. Like,
Yeah.
he's a
A
sweet
sweet,
boy.
he's an earnest, kind individual, dude.
I mean,
And
he doesn't have all
He
the
still is. It's just like every time he tries to get in touch with that and understand mentally where those emotions derive from, he has a fucking headache and shit gets jumbled yet again.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, goes back to the whole, no, I'm just a soldier first class. That's what I am. I'm a goddamn hero.
What does he
your
say?
honor,
What are you anyway, soldier? First. What? No,
Oh, yeah.
I was talking about your age. Oh,
Oh yeah, one.
yeah, one. Yeah, it doesn't go above one.
Right.
I was asking your age, not your rank.
He was like,
I love
Yeah,
like
when
the,
Barrett was
he was
like,
like, the way you act, that's
oh,
about
I know, you could be one. Little
right.
baby.
yeah, little baby. And in fairness, I'm like, I mean, yeah. Like,
Get your ass out of here.
yeah. Barrett is the fucking man in this game.
I think
Like,
that was my
Barrett is,
favorite moment
for
between those two, when Barrett did the whole, I used to think you were something, like a whiny something with a big inferiority complex. And I was like, dick joke. I like it.
Right.
We better be able to get, like, once we get to the golden saucer stage, we better be able to get a trophy called Best Bromance. We better be able to.
oh, you better be able to bring Barrett up.
Oh,
on the
yeah.
Ferris wheel.
I don't know if the trophy will be called that, but there will be a trophy. There might be a trophy.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
There is one in the original. I think it's literally called Best Bromance.
I think
In the original, there was no
Well,
trophy.
The one with
like on
achievements,
PC.
rather. The one with
PC,
achievements, rather.
I gotta say this one before I forget, because I keep remembering and then like I get sidetracked. I talk about something else.
Yeah.
Okay. The end of the game.
Yes.
You know Zach's alive.
Possibly.
He is. In his own timeline. He's alive. He's around.
In some way, shape, or form, he is. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also see my boy Biggs, who I love.
Yes.
He is the man.
And we also
That
see
shit,
Jesse's glove.
that shit crazy. That shit is also crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we see Jesse's glove. It's on the table.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Um,
Also crazy.
So my theory,
And Wedge is presumed dead, but he's not.
Wedge is presumed
Wedge-
dead,
Wedge-
but fuck you.
What?
Why?
Wedge is already saved. All right, so
Yeah, well, like that's why when he's like in the building, I'm like Wedge. Like, but the whispers come and push him out the friggin' window or whatever. He's
And
like,
he's
I'm
like-
sorry, guys, I tried. I
At
was
least
like,
tell me I
Wedge.
was useful.
Yeah, I know. I was like, God damn it, he better be okay.
Yeah.
don't even worry.
I think
I'd
Wedge is
rather have
fine.
Jesse. I'd rather have Jesse, but
Well, that's the thing. I think
Let's
Wedge
be
is
fair, we got Biggs and Jesse. Why the fuck do you care about Wedge?
because I like
That's all
Wedge.
me.
Like
That's all.
my
Wedge-
theory. My theory is
Go ahead.
that Wedge is alive.
Yeah.
And that in the timeline that the first game takes place in. Not Final Fantasy, that remake takes place in.
Right.
I'll just call it remake timeline. So Wedge is alive in remake timeline. In Zack's timeline, Wedge is probably dead, and Biggs and Jesse survive in Zack's timeline.
Well, we don't even know what will happen in Zack's time. I don't even think Zack's timeline is going to get to that point that we'll actively see.
No, I don't think we'll see it by 2. I'm just saying that by 2...
If you actually theorize about Zack's timeline, god damn, that shit must be fucking crazy.
Oh, yeah. But that's just my theory, because
DLC.
Yeah, I'm sure they will, too. I mean, I was amazed. Like Son said, we really did essentially play Advent Children in that final fight. That was insane.
Yeah,
exactly.
And the thing is, I take back what I said initially. It's not even about to be no DLC. Like, Advent Children's plot line will be in the game, straight up.
Exactly.
That's literally Advent Children.
That's a theory that I have, too. Like, do you think that's Sephiroth? Do you think that's the Advent Children one?
Well, this Sephiroth is markedly different, and I think the Sephiroth and Advent Children was a ghost of the live stream, right? Or something of that nature.
Yeah.
I don't know how they characterized it. But, like, this Sephiroth, and I saw somebody else have a theory on this, and it makes a lot of sense to me, but this Sephiroth is 100% in tune with the live stream and the Whisper's intentions, and he actuates that through his clones. So, like, it's kind of like he is the Advent Children Sephiroth in the sense of, like, how he's operating, because he can see all of these parallel timelines at once.
Yeah.
And he's still trying to drive towards a successful meteor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he can't control the Whispers, but he's trying to control people's response to them by taking certain actions in their presence, in and around them, to make the party go down his path that he wants. That's how I.
It felt
also,
to
Sloan's
me
here, so
was
don't
like
say any
this was
spoilers.
Yay, thank you.
Spoilers for what?
For Final Fantasy regular 7.
Hey, Sloan.
Well, I have to later, but we'll get into that.
No, Sloan hasn't played.
Well, don't be like that.
Yeah, we agreed once.
It's a Sloan
Okay,
problem.
no. Now that Sloan's come, let's just talk about the game / expectations for the next game. Then,
yeah.
Instead of, like, trying to do this whole theory crafting thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
there is one spoiler from the regular game that I got spoiled on like a year or two ago already.
What is it?
With Aerith.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the big one. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because like everyone's just like, Sloan, it's been out for 23 years, and I'm like, yeah, but
no, but it's true though. Like it has been out for 23 years.
I don't get how there are that don't know that, because it's like one of the most iconic video game moments in general.
Yeah,
that I don't know about.
I do know people who haven't.
A lot of people compare it to, you know, what happens with L in Death Note.
It is one of those moments that you know about.
You gotta look at it from a strategy standpoint. Like, Sephiroth killed your only healer in the first disc.
Yeah, it was brutal.
No, your best healer, not your only healer. Your best.
Well, yeah, I mean, but come on.
But
it's the same thing in this game. Every time they took fucking Aerith away from me and stuck me with Barret, I was so pissed.
Yo, learn how to manage your goddamn materia. That's what you need to do.
I was like, every complaint you have, I'm always like, well, that sounds like a fucking you problem.
No, it's a you problem. But I manage my materia. He just doesn't have the same MP pool. It's not as good.
You give him some MP up, bro.
He doesn't have the fucking ward. You can put down a fucking ward and double cast magic. Magic from the enemies, not have to continuously waste ethers.
I don't know what you're on about. My Barret was badass.
There's no build of Barret that you can make him be healer centric, but you can just make Cloud your heal for the scenes with you and Barret.
Yeah,
no, that's fine. I'm talking about pure magic power. Aerith is a fucking beast for that shit.
Yeah, dude, she can do regular heal. She can do the 4 MP heal and fill your bar up. Like, yeah,
that's her role, dude. Look. It's fine. I get what Scott's saying. It's fine. We have plenty of other characters to fill the void. And they will all be... there will no longer be optional characters, mind you. They'll all be part of the story.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
You're definitely getting Red 13 next game. He's playing.
Yeah, for sure.
Red 13, we're getting Yuffie, and... Yeah, we're getting all 3 of them. We're getting Vincent.
Too.
I think they're going to save somebody.
And Sid. And Katsun. Yeah,
I think they got to save somebody for the 3rd game. Like, somebody's gonna get stalled out.
I think they might save Sid. Definitely gonna have Yuffie, though, because we've already met her.
No, but doesn't Sid... Yeah, no, and plus all the Wu-Tai build-up, yeah, you're right. But, like, doesn't Sid temporally show up before that? Like,
I don't think so. I think he shows up at the very end.
Oh, he shows up.
Yeah,
he does show off slightly before Yuffie. Well, before you recruit her anyway. She shows up a bunch of times before that to try and rob you and shit.
He doesn't.
Wait, you can see it before Vincent? No.
I thought you got Sid before.
No, you get Vincent first, and then you get Sid, and then you get Yuffie at the end. And she's optional. You didn't even always have to get her.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Okay, no. But you can get Yuffie before that.
Yeah, you can get Yuffie before that.
You can get Yuffie way before Vincent and Sid.
As soon as you leave Midgar, you're basically like in the forest, and she can, try to take advantage of you
for that event.
Yeah,
shit.
I thought Vincent was the last person when you find him in the crypt and shit. And
Sid.
Okay, never mind. Well, I'm getting to spoilers. But yeah, I thought.
Wait. You guys have already discussed the ending.
Yeah, but before I'll let.
It's
I have my own
ongoing.
theories.
Okay, Sloan, I want to hear them theories, but before we get to Sloan's theory, I have to point out Joanne's comment. Because I agree. I want Reno to step on my ribcage.
Oh boy, Reno had me. I was sent. I had never heard of this man, and when I saw him screenshot immediately, good lord, I was blessed that day.
What I think I saw you on Twitter say something about Reno, and I'm like, Sloan, welcome to the Reno Club.
Welcome to the house of Reno.
Yeah, I was like, Reno's been the fucking man for years. Like, are we having fun yet? Time of my life. I love Reno.
I don't know, they really glowed up with Rude. They really glowed up Rude though. I was like, all right, Rude.
I don't know why it went in this file, but
there's
download that image.
There is a Rude spoiler that I want to say that I think will happen in the second game. It's like a one-off line, and it's like an optional line of dialogue, but I won't say just in case it shows up. But. Okay. I was disappointed Rude didn't interact with a certain character because of that. I mean, like, he does, but he doesn't, like, get to, like, specifically talk to said person. Yes, also
no
Reeve
idea what you're talking about.
No, you gotta be more specific than
I can't. I literally can't. It would spoil it.
Just tell
Can't
me.
even just say the character, yeah.
Tifa.
Oh, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah. I was so disappointed because
That's the Wu-Tai shit, right?
No. It's like a one-off line of dialogue between Reno and Rude about Tifa, and I was like, damn it, like I really wanted to see that, like some mention of that. But yeah, Rude is a fucking badass. Rude and Reno are also like straight. They are like straight out of Crisis Core. They are straight out of Advent Children. Like the way they interact with each other, like because they were like that in the OG game, but like they really emphasize the Advent Children side of things.
Advent Children is responsible for all of this because Advent Children was the apology letter for us not really getting an ending. So
yeah, exactly.
It was like, hey, get this movie.
They retconned the shit in Advent Children too.
Yeah,
they legitimately retconned the ending because they had a whole party in Advent Children present in the flashback.
Yeah, and
Rufus Shinra.
They kind of left you on a cliffhanger if everyone even survived until they made Advent Children.
Yeah.
So.
Well, apparently there was a release. Okay, this is all spoilers. I can't.
Like, I'm sorry.
But Sloan, you do have to now play the original FF7 just because without it, you're not going to understand the second game after this because it's clearly.
This is a
actually let me get into that. So once the ending happened, I was hella confused. So I did a little research. I did some research on like comparisons between this and the original. So I found out that the whispers are new.
Yeah.
And what was it? I found out. So I could already tell that Zack is dead. But but in the game, it made it seem like he's alive. So I was like, what the heck is going on? So some people aren't too sure if they are just in a new timeline where Zack is alive or if he's about to die right after this.
And that's the debate we already had, that I thought possibly that was the same timeline and things had changed in this timeline.
Really?
But they have now actually convinced me because of the Whispers thing. You're right. The Whispers would have gone after Zack if he was alive in this timeline.
It's a theory, but I do think it's accurate as far as the information that we have that there's 3 timelines concurrently. There's the original Final Fantasy timeline, the remake one, and the Zack living one.
Yeah, because I thought maybe like this was a timeline where Zack's alive, but like, and I've seen people be like, the dialogue. I'm like, really? Because the dialogue made me think he's super dead. Like,
the dialogue is exactly the same as FF7, so it seems like Zack, like Cloud doesn't know Zack's alive and
Right.
nothing else.
Yeah.
No.
Originally, yeah, I did think, oh, Zack could be alive, but now you guys are right. The Whispers would have fucked that shit up right.
100%. Yeah.
That is a different
That's
dimension,
not
different timeline.
The shot of Zack, right? Like the shot of Zack carrying Cloud makes it disparate to me because Cloud's actions throughout the entirety of this game would not have happened in that way had that scene been prior to what was happening. It's happening like separately of this.
I also like the little just the little things, just like with Barrett getting stabbed instead of Aerith.
That fucked me up.
I was like, hold on, what are we doing now? Because I was like, hold on.
Well, because it was funny. I was playing the game, right? I was. Okay, so there's the scene where Barrett's like, "There's some people trying to attack the planet, and your dad's got to be the one to go out and stop them." Right? And I was like, are they giving Barrett death flags? What the fuck is this? Yeah, I was like, I was like, why does Barrett have death flags? He doesn't fucking die. And then I said that in our Discord, and one of the people in Discord was like, no, Barrett dies, kind of. And I was like, cool. Thank you. God damn it. But yeah, like, and then when you play through, you're like, oh, okay, I see what they're doing. But that's the thing, right? Because the Whispers aren't good or bad. They're just like, no, we're trying to correct things to get to the proper timeline.
The Whispers are agents of the live stream. They have no will of their own.
Yeah.
So, like,
part of the big electron.
As long as all they exist to do, from my perspective, is to make sure that shit lines up
Goes back
the original game, so that that's the only destiny, quote unquote, that makes sense for the planet.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that's interesting. Who do you think is changing it? Is it just Sephiroth, or is it a bunch of different shit going on?
I think there has to be one other force.
There's going to be another force, and Sephiroth's going to end up teaming up with Cloud.
You want to know who I think it is?
Oh, my boy from fucking Crisis Core?
Yep. I think it's Genesis.
It kind of has to be, with how much they built him up in Crisis Core and then Dirge of Cerberus. Like,
I agree with that.
I guess with the Dirge stuff is what makes me agree. I think that's about it.
There is still much work yet to do.
His whole thing was always like want to be as good as Sephiroth. So like him and Sephiroth fucking with each other at the edge of fate, that would be fucking awesome.
But the way you just said that gave me chills. Like Sephiroth and Genesis still duking it out at the edge of eternity. It's like, oh my god,
that would be a great moment as well. Is if they're doing that throughout the whole game, and then like the end of the thing will be all the timelines coming together, and like Zack showing up and Angeal showing up with his one big wing.
Yay!
Oh,
I
would goddamn trio and being like, "I'm gonna teach you boys some math."
Angeal's like Batman. He's like, come with me, my Robin.
You guys are getting too far gone. Here.
Oh, yay. We're veering into fanfic territory, but I love it.
It's a fanfic. I'm having this.
Hey, man, this is already a fanfic, okay?
I like what you're saying, but let's bring it back in. And let me just ask the hard-hitting question, because I'm thinking about it, right? Like, what makes this time, like, what catalyzed the deviance of this timeline to begin with? If we're thinking about it from that perspective, right? Because
Nomura.
Nomura, yeah.
Pretty much.
right.
Just like me and JoJo said, he went into the office like, we're redoing this, right? Well, I want to save
In the world, my boys.
In the world, I think it's the thing that you said, where this Sephiroth that we're seeing now that's messing around with everything is post-Advent Children Sephiroth. He's in the live stream. He knows everything that's happened so far, and he's done the whole I am eternal.
Went back into this particular timeline and is changing things separately.
Gotten strong enough now that he's able to go back far enough, but he can't break the timeline enough by himself, which is the whole need to borrow your power, Cloud.
Yeah,
he's using Cloud to change everything and overpower the Whispers.
Well, and think about it too, like when he because I remember people being like, "Oh man, Cloud beat Sephiroth." No, bitch. he let you win. But like,
Cloud did not beat Sephiroth.
Yeah.
Sephiroth gave Cloud
this fight in the end of this game.
Yeah, I was like,
that wasn't even a fight, bro.
That's just it. Like, I saw people being like, after you beat Sephiroth, like, you do not beat Sephiroth. Like,
first of all, that shit was not even hard. That was one of the easiest fights in the whole goddamn game.
The Hell House was harder than that.
Yeah, because he wasn't trying. Because Sephiroth's like, good. You're falling right into my trap. This is what I wanted you to do. Because he, like, like he said, like, you got 7 seconds. Like, what are you gonna do with 7 seconds? And then, like, we see like what he does, and it's like, oh shit! Like, I think he did that on purpose to have Cloud start to help him fuck with things.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
Yeah.
Needs more than just Sephiroth. Sephiroth can't control this himself.
Mm-hmm.
No, he can't.
Getting from this.
Can't at all. He can see it, but he can't affect it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All he can do is manipulate everybody else into going down his path.
Yeah. He's literally trying to.
I mean, it might be connecting it back to like the original, like OG Final Fantasy kind of thing, where there's an agent of chaos and an agent of order kind of thing.
Oh,
I mean,
that's true.
But Genova's whole existence in Final Fantasy VII was meant to evoke that, right? Because like if you think about the three great magics and how it was used in that series, which I know we're getting way off topic, but
right, we're getting deep into lore now, like how it's a Biggs and Wedge in every game lore, and see
there is a Biggs and Wedge in every game. There's a Sid. It's possible.
There's some version of a Kupo, but anyway, I just think that was always meant to be that, right? Like I think Sephiroth was always meant to be him acting as an agent of chaos.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And now he's kind of... Yeah, I guess that makes sense because the whole world is trying to keep everything in order now, and he's still trying to break that.
And that's the will of... We got to keep it in mind. It's just Gaia, right? It's just the will of the particular planet in a space of the universe and in a continuum.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that that could be defeated.
Yeah.
Before we move on, can I say how funny it was when I was first going into this game and Sun told me... Asked if there was a Moogle in this one, a Kupo, and Son was like, "There is, but he's a young black lad." And I was like, "The fuck?" And actually seen him, I was like, "Oh man, literally, this is hilarious."
Yeah. Like that's not Moogle.
I am Mog, the Moogle.
It's one of my favorite Moogles.
Which fucking awesome. And then him being like, "Only the pure of heart could see me, Kupo." And Cloud was like, "Well, I see you." And he was like, "Oh, I don't know, Kupo." He's like, "I'm not messing around with this dude."
That was I love Mog.
And also
awesome.
the little cameo. The cameo is leading to the next disc with Cat Civ too, where he was escaping doing
That's the thing.
Drop.
Like, I can only imagine, like Sloan and people who haven't played the original were like, "Why is there a cat man?
Why is that cat with a cat with a head?
Sloan, do you remember
crown on?
seeing a little tiny cat wandering around that kind of looked like a plush toy?
with a crown on?
There were a shit ton of cats.
No.
But this one was
a cat that
This
standing
one
on
doesn't
two legs.
actually look like an actual cat.
When
it does.
Yeah.
when
It was standing up on two legs. It had a cape and a crown.
Yeah, when the plate falls down, you see him like overlooking all the chaos. It's like
He's
a little
like,
cat.
"Oh no!"
Yeah.
Oh.
Like a little cat with a crown.
Okay.
But he's like walks on 2 feet.
What
But see, that's what's funny. To anybody who hasn't played the original game, Sloan was just like, "That was weird," and then moved on and
First of all,
forgot about it.
he doesn't even fucking actually walk, if we're being completely honest.
Yeah, that's true.
He doesn't.
He walks in
technically-
this one. He hasn't got his mech right now.
Do you think they'll give him his like big Moogle
Of
thing?
course, dude. That's gonna be his whole
What
gameplay.
the fuck?
That's gonna be his whole gameplay.
This
He
boy.
does look like a plush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's my favorite character, and he's not
Okay,
even
wait.
technically a character.
There's your de facto healer.
I did not know that, Jojo. But okay.
He's my favorite looking.
Oh, okay. That's fine. That's
okay,
fine.
yeah.
Great design. But no. I think I've got it. You guys are right. I don't think we're gonna have everybody fully playable in the next disc, right? But I do think that everybody will be introduced in the next disc, just like how Red 13 wasn't playable, but will be in the next one.
Right. Sid's probably just gonna be at home with his wife.
I think we'll see a lot of Sid, but I don't think we'll be able to play as Sid. I think we'll be lucky if we get Vincent, but we're definitely getting Yuffie, and we're definitely. I think
sure we're getting
Yuffie.
Okay, it's time to talk about this.
Yuffie, we're getting Yuffie.
We've already got Yuffie. We've already got Yuffie.
Yeah, they talk about Wu-Tai too much in this one, not for her not to be like.
I mean, we've already met her.
No. Ku's going in a completely different direction.
If this is what I think,
Already
you're
met
thinking
her,
you're way
and
off.
she's
Yeah.
best girl.
It's
Mhm.
because
I
she's
mean,
already
this
a
is
character.
what-
You know who you know that
She's already what?
she's already a character. She's in a
Kyrie.
spin-off book. Yeah,
Oh no.
Kitty, yeah.
yeah. She's a character.
Oh,
She's not Yuffie.
Fuck Kyrie.
Kyrie is
That's
Yuffie.
annoying.
She's not Yuffie.
Why are you guys taking Ku seriously, man? He's not being serious when it comes to
100%
Kyrie
serious.
stuff.
Kyrie is Yuffie.
She's not
100%.
She's not Yuffie. She's her own character. She's a
not
character in a
Yuffie,
spin-off.
She's not.
She's not.
She's an
Yuffie.
actual. She's always been a character.
Yeah, she's. Yeah, I'll show you.
She's always been. She has ties to Vincent, right? Or no?
Talking
No.
about with the receipts.
Yeah.
I know about the book thing. I think Nomura
That's not
don't
Yuffie.
think.
I think it is supposed to be like in the
sure
dark side story or whatever it's called.
Yeah, the whole stealing Johnny's wallet thing. I mean, that's kind of ninja-ish.
Oh my god, Johnny.
Dude, okay.
Y'all need to stop unnecessarily hating on Johnny because y'all played the
Johnny,
English dub. Y'all played the English dub, and that's why you hate Johnny. Johnny is
Nomura, the external force that Sephiroth is in cahoots with is Johnny, for sure.
It's all been leading up to Johnny.
Said Tifa, baby.
Dude, the game just wants you to see him as an idiot, but actually he's the mastermind. He's the end game boss.
I can't believe this. You want to
He might be on that. Yo, I could see it, dude. Imagine if Johnny is an agent of chaos. Yo.
Right.
It's literally a Danganronpa part. I can't.
Oh, and for sure he'll be appearing in the later games. For sure.
Oh,
for sure.
I'll leave it.
You think they're gonna pull a Kefka with Johnny?
No, Kefka's the OG. But yeah. Just imagine Johnny being OP, dude. Like, you can't even be mad.
Somebody do the... You gotta...
That's as bad as the Jar Jar Binks theory, man.
Nah, Johnny's ultimate villain.
Oh my god. Oh.
The Jar Jar theory would have been better than what we got, but okay.
That's a podcast.
The Kefka laughed.
Before we continue, I just want to say that they made Marlene adorable in this game.
No,
of course.
Listen, you guys know I don't like kid characters in fiction. I feel like they're mainly just there to be escorted around, and they're loud and annoying, and I don't like them. But I would jump in front of a train to protect Marlene.
Or Marlene.
Yeah, like, Marlene is the sweetest thing on this planet. That, like, activated fatherly instincts I didn't know I had. Like, that's what that did.
You just like all the
Denzel was a piece of shit.
Yeah, all kids in Final Fantasy, for some reason, I'm like, I will protect this one. Like, I don't know why. It's just a fatherly instinct I have for Final Fantasy characters. Don't know why.
So did you guys... I mean, I didn't really think of nothing of this, but once the plate falls, right? And then you go through the haunted section of the game, and you see the ghost of Marlene. Did you think she was dead at first?
I did.
For a second, yeah. No. Like, for a second, I thought something nefarious happened.
Not for a second. Not for a moment.
We didn't get any sign of my boy Denzel, and I'm disappointed.
Like, well, and developed a new materia.
You'll see him eventually.
Yeah, I bet.
Chadley.
Chadley kind of dope.
Does anybody know the secret of Chadley?
No.
No, what's the secret of Chadley?
Oh, so after you get all the battle materia, it's actually revealed that he's actually a cyborg, right? And he was developed by Hojo. So throughout the whole game, he's actually been collecting data on you.
Oh shit, Chadley's evil.
You're talking about like,
Chadley.
After you finish the last thing, all the battle reports, and then you get the last materia when you're in chapter 17, right? Like, and you talk to him. Because he said something like that, and I just kind of did. I just
kind of brushed it off. Now,
I was just like clicking X because I was trying to get to the next battle.
Yeah, because like right on, cool, yep, yeah, awesome, Chadley, sweet, yep. Just moving on.
Where you've already done that whole thing of testing every one of Hojo's monsters up to that point. Like Hojo played you that whole game,
right? Yeah, Hojo the mastermind for sure of that whole game.
Played us like a fiddle.
But wait,
like a damn fiddle.
Miles, doesn't he say that? Even though he was doing that, he wanted to work against Hojo?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. Because I was like, Chadley that boy, though. Like,
he was like, he admits that he was doing that shit, and then he's like, no, but I'm actually, what I said to you wasn't a lie, or something along those lines.
Yeah.
That's back to like the whole cyborg robot fallacy, where it's like, was he programmed by Hojo to do that, though? Like, he's Hojo's robot, so maybe Hojo programmed him to think he's against Hojo when really he's still in complete control.
Right, but no, I think he's on Ex Machina status right now, too.
What is love? Am I love?
I'm going back through it mainly so I can get all the summons because I want Bahamut. So
that fight, I'm going to tell you right now, that fight is annoying.
I bet it is. It was annoying when you had to kind of go against the arbiters.
Can we talk a little bit about we've only got 15 minutes left in the stream, so I want to address this real quick. Play this game in the Japanese dub, for the love of God.
Thank you. I've been saying this for weeks.
Yeah,
Consistency.
it's so like it's not that it's not that the English dub is terrible because the
You're
cast
just missing greatness.
exactly. It's not that the English dub is bad because people like Cloud really does grow into the role over time. Same with Tifa. Aerith is really bad. But that's not her fault. Like
Zack is fucking terrible.
Yeah, I think she just wasn't prepared for this role. I hope she gets works on.
She's
her craft
actually
and
not
gets
a
better.
voice actress.
See that doesn't surprise me.
And watching her the little clips of her stream that I watch, it doesn't even really seem like she's too familiar with the source material. So
yeah,
She's
it's a
just
little
YouTuber. I don't know what she does, but she popped up on my timeline and she's like, "Hey guys, I'm voicing my first character. It's Aerith in the remake." And I was like,
that was a real oversight. I don't know who cast her for that.
No. There is one person in this
Cornell?
dub that is worse than Aerith.
Who?
Zack is the
Was
worst.
Zack awful?
Yeah, I didn't
I haven't heard it.
is-
All I know is the man is a god in Japanese. That's all I know.
Zack
Yeah,
is
In Japanese, and the fucking Crisis Core voice actor nailed it. But
Yeah.
my god, this new Zack is just pure surfer, bro. It
wow.
makes no
The
sense to
price
his
of
character.
freedom is steep. It's like
Wow,
what the
I
fuck
guess
is
that's
that?
the last of them.
Yeah,
Oh my
wow.
Look.
Cloud. It's like what the fuck have
It's
you
like,
done?
it's like, wow.
All you need to do yourself a favor. If you're doing a second playthrough, switch that language over. Just do yourself a favor.
Yeah, I am anyway.
I immediately
you're gonna-
switched over and like
I
was
get
like,
why Crew
must
didn't
be-
want to play it in Japanese initially because there is a lot of in-battle dialogue and
Yeah.
subtle off-the-cuff dialogue that if you're not reading that left column and you can't comprehend it, you're gonna miss it.
Even
But
some things that
now
just
that
don't
you've
get
done-
subtitles. A lot of the Sephiroth whispers in Cloud's heads never got soft subtitles
Yeah.
either.
But you see, I mean, I'm not trying to brag, but I caught that shit. Anyway, the point is, though, I really wanted to give the English dub a shot because I really wanted to hear Mark Hamill Cornell. Like that for me was like my goal to get to. And I started the second playthrough, played pretty much through the whole first chapter in English. I was like, nah, you know what? Nah, I'm not doing this to myself. Like, this is terrible. It's so much worse than what I just experienced. I need to go back. Never.
Speaking of the corneo scene, when you get to Tifa and Aerith with Cloud to dress on, he's like, "Yeah, I know, killed it."
That's
Okay,
the
move
thing.
on.
That's the moment that I was like, okay, because I want to stress, I was not a big fan of Cloud's voice actor, but that moment I was like, okay, he actually does get it. Because like, yeah, Cloud is like we all have that vision of Cloud where he's like depressed, blah blah blah. But especially like in the events of FF7, he does have like a piece of Zack's personality. You know what I mean? Some part of him imprinted onto him. But like he does like that moment where she's like, "Oh my god, like Cloud, you look awesome, nailed it. I know. Let's move on." Like just like nailed it. I know. Like, it's so funny.
He was so over it, and the whole town.
Nailed
Was
it.
like, God.
Yeah.
Dude, Chadley's response to
Oh yeah.
that shit had me dying.
What
I was
did
like,
Chadley say? Because I didn't see
was
it.
if you talk to Chadley while Cloud is dressed up, he'll be like, "Oh, like Nason, like oh my god, like you're talking to me," and then like he just like kind of like is in awe of female Cloud, like he's like has like a huge crush. And Cloud doesn't say anything, dude. And then you can talk to him again, he just can't really say anything, and you have to walk away.
Same thing with the dude from the Colosseum. He was just like, "Oh wow, that's the most beautiful lady I've ever seen."
Dude, everybody says that shit. I'm like, yo, the trap game too strong.
That's like because I was all excited.
Which
I'm like,
outfit
oh,
did
this
you
got
guys get?
uncomfortable. Like,
Oh, I went with
that's it.
exotic, and I'm so happy. Tifa in the exotic outfit was
Yeah,
so
me too.
fucking good.
I did exotic the first time. I got Cloud's purple one with the tiara, and I got
See, I didn't even know you could change.
I got
outfits
Aerith like
until way later.
red dress, like her.
I
final.
got the first time I did it, I got Tifa for exotic, the best outfit or whatever for Cloud, and then the red dress for Aerith.
Yeah.
Good.
Same. I
But
got-
you don't get
Red dress
choose
was
the other
good.
one. It's just all based off of the first word you say. You just when Eric word and a dress she's going to wear.
No, it's not. It's not.
Huh?
It's based off. So Tifa's is based off of how many missions you do in Chapter 8, and what your response is to Madam M and Tifa when you ask her about her dress. Which that part you're right about. So you can get if you do no quest in Chapter 8, you automatically get Tifa's standard pink dress.
Okay.
If you do a quest in Chapter 8 and then you respond to the question correctly, you get her middle dress. If you do all the quests in
Tifa's
chapter
pink dress? Because Tifa doesn't
All right,
have a
Aerith,
pink dress.
Aerith,
Oh,
excuse me.
okay.
And then if you do all the quests in chapter 8, you get Aerith's red dress. Tifa's is all based on that one choice in chapter 3.
Yeah, I
during
thought so.
The little thing. And then Cloud's is based off of not doing or doing whose quest you do in chapter 9. That's what Cloud is based on.
Oh, whether it's between Madam M and what's his face.
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
I thought Clouds was based off of whatever you respond to Tifa with, because she says you make sure you match or something like that. Like, make sure yours goes with mine.
It still doesn't matter. That shit that only affects Tifa's dress.
I legitimately thought it was 100% just whatever you said to Tifa locked in all 3 of them.
Yeah,
Nope.
That's better.
Nope.
Because
so like I've been doing it. I have 8 out of the 9 dresses, right? To get all 9, you gotta do like multiple playthroughs of chapter 3,
You have to
chapter
do
8.
like a playthrough where you don't do all of the goddamn missions. That must be painful.
Well, you just have to. So for the Aerith ones, you have to start in chapter 8 and then choose how many missions you do. For the Tifa ones, you just have to replay chapter 3 and choose the other option.
yeah,
And for the Cloud ones, you just have to play chapter 9 and do the different quests.
Yeah, I think I'll just look up pictures of how the other dresses look.
yeah.
I'm trying to get the platinum.
sporty.
That's the only reason I did that shit. But
I apparently got the sporty one. I didn't even know you could change the outfits. I don't know.
oh
Oh,
damn!
I hate the sporty one.
Now that I'm
Sporty one is the
looking at
worst.
it,
The sporty one is the worst one, dude.
Yeah.
really, because
Yeah,
I'm like,
it
now
is.
that I look at it, sporty's the best one. Like,
Wait, when you had your little date with Tifa and she asked you what you'd like her to wear, you told her sporty.
yeah,
I know I did. That's the
That's
exotic.
what she always wears. She wears it herself. She's like, that's what I always wear.
I know. She says like, but that's
sexuals, man.
well, because she says like that's what I always wear. I'm like, I know.
I mean,
that's
I'm
what
glad
you look
everybody else
best
is like
in. Like-
exotic. That was the first thing I said. I was like,
Yeah,
exotic.
everybody else is like, I want to see what you think is exotic. JoJo's like, sporty, it's all good, be comfortable.
Well, let's just say, yeah. I'm like, I don't know. Just you always wear sporty shit, so just be comfortable. I don't know. Like, I feel like that says a lot about me. Where I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's
It does. It does.
It's like, yeah, sure, whatever. I don't know. Like, well,
Yeah,
that's the
sure, why
thing.
not?
Like when somebody's just like dressed fancy, I'm like, okay. And they're like, you're wearing khakis and a plaid shirt. I'm like, yeah, you said fancy.
Oh
This is
my god, JoJo.
yeah, you said fancy.
This is my business look.
Yeah, this is my business attire. I don't know, man. I'm comfy in this. Like, but yeah,
I'm gonna have to specify, dude. When any event I invite you to that's formal, dude, I'm gonna send you an outfit.
you're gonna have to specifically send me what you want. It's like, wear this. Like when my friends just like, it's a formal attire. So I'm like, okay, so like, can I?
Button up.
Yeah, can I just wear like a button up? They're like, no, motherfucker, you have to wear a tie. I was like, oh, but it's not comfy. But yeah,
Oh, this is a small thing, but I actually really liked seeing Tifa do the pull-ups in the
Ooh, she
gym.
does
I was like, yo, this is it.
because
Fuck the
Tifa
pull-up challenge, though. Fuck the pull-up challenge.
Yeah, I didn't even bother to finish the 3rd level.
Yeah, I didn't either. Like after that second one, I was like, "Fuck."
Dude,
this.
I'm
That's because
embarrassed.
y'all ain't focused on getting swole.
It took me
Yeah.
like 20-something
Dude.
tries.
I was
to beat
dedicated. It took me like 20 times.
Hell yeah, Miles.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
No, for Miles. It took me like, and I was so pissed because one of the times I had like 44 and he had like 45, and he was supposed to fall. He normally falls at the end, and he didn't fall. I was like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
oh, bad.
The worst shit, like even worse when you fall right near the end and they just get like 12 push-ups right.
Right?
Like, how did he do that many?
I was like, hold on. And, yeah, that part where he looks like he's about to fall, he's like, nope.
Yeah. Dude, he was repping out a good 30 before I fell. I was like, fuck.
I did beat that shit. That I felt more accomplished beating that than pretty much any boss fight in the.
Oh my god.
Can we talk a
Harder
little
than
bit
Muhammad.
about Wall Market before we go? Because
That's my favorite part.
I
Wall Market was so
adored
much
Wall
fun.
Market. Yeah.
Yes.
Wall Market was my favorite part.
I had a blast. Oh my gosh. Was Wall Market in the original?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah? Oh
It
man.
wasn't
It
as
was more interactive as well. It was more, well, it was less colorful. You got to do a lot more there. You got to like get the materials for your dress and get the earrings for yourself and get makeup. It was
Yep.
There was a lot that went into you getting the best look so that Cornea would pick you.
I prefer the dancing sequence to all that
The
tedious.
dancing sequence was
I-
the dancing
Funny.
sequence is you don't get to enjoy it. The camera angles are so fucked up.
I loved
They are.
getting to
That's
hang
true.
out with the Chocobo. Chocobo Sam is my boy. I like his dynamic
Chocobo Sam.
with Madam. Fuck, what's her name?
Madam
Madam
M.
M.
Yeah.
Madam M.
They
I love
totally
Madam
fucked.
M.
Y'all need to hear her in Japanese, by the way. Y'all definitely need to hear her in Japanese.
Madam M had me going like, just gonna close this door, just gonna close my door, because Cloud making noises. I don't need Cloud to make right now.
It totally caught me off guard. I couldn't believe it.
Well, when she's just like, oh, your hands are so
Off the
tense.
hand massage, though.
And I was like, hey, yo. Like, Cloud
You
leaves
saw
and he's
what
like...
she did at the end there, though, because she totally just straight up pushed his hand into her tits. So
Well, when he walks out, he's all like...
looking at his hand the whole time he walks out. And he just...
Aaron's
and
like,
why was it the
Are
one
you
hand?
okay? He's like, huh.
Yeah, well, I love Aerith being like,
he
Cloud.
just slowly goes over to the wall. You have to control Aerith talking to him.
Cloud, you alright, bud?
And then Matt's like, I hope you'll come back again. He's like, oh, I don't know what he says in English, but in Japanese, he's just like, it's just like that solemn Cloud mumble. He's like, huh.
He does the same thing. He's like, he just goes like, like, and just like walks away. It's like, yeah, I bet.
So when I was doing this, because I wanted to get the best dress, like from the get go, like for my first playthrough.
Hell yeah.
And I went with the poor man's massage.
Oh.
and from experiencing that, I felt Cloud's pain because he walks out of there and he's like, everything hurts.
I cashed out.
Oh yeah, I was like, hell.
I was like, yo, let me spend this money on that.
Madam M, you
kidding me?
deserve
That's
it.
you doing that?
It's the only thing in the game worth any money. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
No. Actually, that's what's his name? The mayor's assistant. That's money well spent.
Oh, for
If you
sure.
didn't spend money on that.
Yeah.
I felt because I didn't do it the first time.
Like
I was like,
80,000 gil though, so it's like, yeah, whatever. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah, by that point, you have so much money, you're like, yeah.
Oh no! At that point, I didn't have much money for some reason in my first playthrough, so I was like, I'm not spending it. And then it wasn't until the second playthrough when I was like collecting shit to like do hard mode. I was like, wait, I missed this gun.
Oh,
No.
shit, that sucks.
Yeah, I missed it too. I was like, come on.
I had like a Red Dead dilemma by the end where I'm like, I have too much money. Like, where I was
That's
like,
my thing. The only things I bought in the game were the materia from what's-his-face, the
Chandler.
kid.
Sadly.
And then also anything that was on sale in a vending machine. I never spent any other money.
I always bought the sale vending machine, and then I bought all Chadley stuff, but I bought a bunch of duplicate material from the material shop in Walmart to level up.
Oh,
Yeah,
that makes
like
sense.
I think I bought like an
awesome.
extra. I bought an extra heal at the beginning, and then they just throw so much other materia at you through the game. It's like
You're gonna spend if you do another playthrough, you will spend all of that money.
I'm sure. I know you don't get like any of your MP back, so ethers are gonna be killing you.
Well, you don't get your MP back, but if you play hard mode, you can't use items also.
Yeah.
My God,
Yeah. Can't use any items at all. And I think actually, when you rest on a bench, it heals you, but it doesn't heal your MP either. Yeah.
So you gotta manage your MP to be able to heal and do damage and shit. It's good. It's a good hard mode.
Question with the Coliseum, like you see Johnny and he's just all like, oh yeah, they gave me like a drink or whatever. Like, what does the drink do? I never really understood that.
Wait, what drink?
There's like some sort of drink. You had an option whether or not to drink it or not. This is like before your first round in the Coliseum.
Oh, that's one of the optional shit. Yeah, it makes Johnny like vom or whatever.
I didn't even see it.
Really?
Yeah, I
did you not go in the room? Because I guess it's an option to go into the room in the first place.
It didn't do
Yeah, I went to the room and you're talking about when he's all beat up and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. I don't remember anything about a drink though.
Yeah, it didn't do anything.
I thought so, because like in the Let's Play I watched, Cloud drank it and nothing happened. And I'm like, oh, maybe it's a gameplay type thing that I just haven't noticed, but it doesn't do anything. Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I don't even remember that.
It is nothing noticeable.
It's probably just the whole idea of like Spawn Brothers kind of shit, where it's like, oh, he gave me a drink. Maybe we are brothers. He can't call me Aniki.
You can call him Anakin as much as you want. I love hearing that. Johnny's so cool, man. You got
Yo, the stuffed animal explosions. Dude. Those things are ridiculous.
Oh my goodness.
The damn Hell House.
Oh, the hell! Oh man.
You guys really overhyped that for me. I took
Yeah,
that.
Hell House is not that bad. Y'all need to stop complaining about
On
Hell
hard
Hell
mode, I'm
House
scared.
Dude, okay, I'm scared for hard too. I haven't played it on hard yet, but I'm only on chapter 8 of the hard playthrough.
Well, that was my
But
first
you guys
loss in the
forget-
game, so.
You guys forget an important thing. I am trash at video games, so Hell House kicked my ass.
That was
the rest
my
of the
first
game,
loss. That's
easy
why it
peasy.
pissed me off.
Fair, you guys told me to be
makes no
super
sense to me.
worried about that.
I had trouble with Hell House, but like the last 3 chapters of fights didn't bother you?
No, not at all. Like I stormed
Well,
through the rest of the game.
like
Just
Hell House was my first loss, so it was kind of like, okay, I see where this is going now. I'm not just gonna be able to just blindly go through this. I'm gonna have to start using strategy now.
Yeah, I think it was around chapter 5 when I actually learned about like how you use different weapons in this game, where it's like, oh, customize the weapons, and that basically decides what your character's going to be. Like up until that point, I was just going full attack for Cloud.
Yeah.
Which is why when you were like Barrett is boring, I was like, no, he's not. You just gotta you just gotta learn you just gotta learn all of his skills, and then he's really fucking fun.
Oh my god, Tifa's a
Hey, you watch
monster, dude.
fucking
Tifa's
amazing.
Roach kicked a lot of people's asses.
Who?
The guy in the motorcycle. His
Oh,
name's
really?
Roach, right?
Really?
Yeah,
Just go to
Nah,
punish
Roach is
mode.
easy, dude.
Yeah, I was
Roach
gonna say go to punish mode and block. Like,
Yeah.
or counter. Like, yeah.
That's literally it for every human character that comes out.
Yeah.
Well, no. It was the move until you get counterattack, and then counterattack is the move for every human character.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And get 1 ATB, spam counterattack.
As,
That's not literally
if you don't
one
use counterattack, you
fucking
can't
mission
be.
at the end, though.
I refuse to.
Rufus gave me a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, because that was the first fight that really gave me trouble, and then I was like, "Oh, I got to use counterattack."
See-
That was literally the adjustment.
like that's
Hey,
that's
yo,
the
Rufus
difference
is kinda
between
As soon as I got counterattack, I was like, yeah, I'm spamming the shit out of this. Because my whole Cloud strategy was attack the shit out of them early off and use disorder and then just counter them and continue. Rinse and repeat.
Yeah, that's the
As soon
move.
as I got counterattack, I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, this is my new thing.
Okay,
That's
folks,
the
we are
move.
going to wrap up the stream in about 5 minutes. So if you have anything, if you
I
have
just wanna
anything
hear
horribly
everybody's
important to say,
thoughts on
now would be a good
as
time.
as a whole.
I do have one thing to say.
Shoot.
Okay. So I know he's gonna make an appearance more frequently, most likely in the second game, but I was actually very surprised on how little they use Roche in this game.
Yeah, that kind of
Yeah.
pissed me off that he doesn't
Yeah, me too.
reappear after chapter 4. But you know,
Especially like final bits of you leaving Midgar. I was so sure he was going to show up.
during the
Yeah,
Right.
you're on the
I just
road.
wanna
and,
make
like,
I thought he was gonna show up for sure, dude.
Yeah.
And he'll be back, so
well,
yeah.
it's
Oh, he will.
It-
Nomura doesn't waste characters. That's
No.
one thing you can say about that man.
Especially a character like that. Like that's the first class they've
Yeah.
shown in fucking forever.
He's third class. He's not first class.
He wasn't first? Damn,
No,
he's just
he's
a
not.
soldier baby. Oh.
Which is kind of crazy that he's third class with all those movements.
You're a 1-year-old too.
I guess it makes sense. That's the thing. Like, this is a new game. We haven't seen what the actual first class is, other than Sephiroth, can actually do in this like universe where everything's active.
Right.
Cloud isn't
I
actually a
think
first class.
if you scale everybody's abilities appropriately, like Cloud doesn't even really. I mean, you know, Cloud ain't really on that level. But
Yeah, Cloud. I mean, the Nova cells are helping him, but he's no soldier.
I mean, that's the only thing that makes him special.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think that is why Sephiroth is training the shit out of him. Is just like, you can be great.
he'll be back. I wonder if they'll make Roche like more of like a Turks related character
Ah!
too.
Oh
And
my
he's
God.
I think he's new. He's new, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he didn't exist in anything before this.
Okay.
A lot of characters were new actually, which was kind of a surprise. Like Leslie was a character who I did not expect.
Leslie is the man.
I
Yeah,
love him.
Leslie is the man.
Yeah.
Leslie is
Leslie's
also
cool.
in that spin-off book.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but that spin-off book is all interrelated to shit that has to do with like the Turks and fucking Vincent shit, right?
Well, it's a Turk
Yeah.
spin-off. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's about the
Well,
Turks
Vincent
and-
shit is the most tied to the Turks out of any character.
Yeah, it's
the
about the
fact there.
Turks and the illegitimate son of Shinra, which is
Oh,
interesting.
Well,
Shinra.
that's what I'm very much looking forward to. If they do show us a bit more of the Zack timeline, is Zack, his interactions with the Turks were so interesting. Like even the blonde Turk who never showed up again, supposedly died off screen.
What's her name?
forget her name, but yeah, the blonde one that was kind of flirting with you the whole way through the game too.
Oh,
Gives you the pass. She's
yeah.
like, yeah,
Claudia? No, it's not Claudia.
Or no, she's not the
I
one who
think
gives you the pass.
I think it starts with an M, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's something with him. I can't remember it right now.
Yeah.
See, again, having children.
Well,
Giving
that's the
Turks
thing.
life.
When they showed, friggin' what's his name? Sung, yeah. When they showed him,
sexy, by the way. Sung is sexy.
What? No,
my,
totally, yeah.
That's a fine piece of man right there.
Well, I was just like, well, it's funny because we never really got a good look at him because in like this kind of model for him because in Advent Children he's all fucked up. Like you don't see him.
That's fair. But this is like what I always imagined him to be, though.
Elena,
like
thank you, Moon.
Elena, yeah.
This depiction
He always had this slicked back hair. He always looked like he should
he
be.
always had that demeanor about him where I was like, this is he's on that boss status.
Yeah.
Whereas it was completely a shock to everyone when Reno showed up in fucking Advent Children and was sexy as fuck.
Yeah, everyone's like, what the fuck?
Him in FF7, it was like, look at this little fuck boy. And then in
Yeah.
Advent Children, it's like, oh yeah, spank me with that stick. Let's go.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I hope the Seiyu that they replace him with is up to par. R.I.P. to the GOAT.
Yeah.
Shit,
for sure.
no way.
Yeah. Sad. Yeah, and we were talking about Dr. Stone earlier too. Same thing. He played Byakuya. Rip to the
Oh
goat.
wow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a sad. What
Opposite
character
character.
are you most excited for in the next part?
Zach, 100%.
Yeah, me too. Okay, besides Zach, you can't say that.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm most excited to see how they execute the open world and playing Red.
Oh
Red
yeah,
13.
for sure.
Playing Red 13, they're gonna have to do some serious work to make Red 13 fun. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing how they do that.
See
But
Reno again?
Reno.
That's what
Fair
I want
enough.
to know.
I
He's not
want to
going
see.
anywhere.
I want to see more of Reeve. And I want to see.
Reeve,
Was that?
Reeve gonna get shafted, dude.
Reeve's gonna get shafted because
Reeve is the kind of character that we're just like, oh yeah, you like him?
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, because Nomura's like I don't want to say, but like Nomura's gonna be like, you like this other character more anyway. Like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to see more of Reeve. I want to see more of the Turks in general, and I actually want to see more of Sung because he gets really torn up over Zack, like in everything that happened. So I'm actually really curious if he finds out that it's like there's a parallel universe where Zack's alive. If he's like, oh my god, I can like actually protect him this time. Like that'd be
He's a lot
cool.
more like crazy religious in this one.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't remember him
He
being
doesn't
like that.
slap
But
Eric this
he's-
time, which is
But
nice.
he says things though, like especially in that dialogue at the end with Rude and Reno, where he's basically like, well, you believe whatever you want to believe. I didn't say that I believe that. I'm just saying that that's the state of things. Basically, he's just a very matter-of-fact character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how I think his personality works, where like deep down, what you see on the surface is not what he really feels.
No,
But-
yeah. I think, yeah, like, because we know he gets torn up about all the shit that goes down between, like, the Turks and Zack and Cloud and everything. Which is weird, because, like, when he sees Cloud, I'm like, shouldn't you be like, oh, fuck, you're alive? Like, you know? Like, I was expecting him to be... Same with Aerith, where, like...
That's the thing. He actually properly knew Zack. I don't think he knew...
He knew a
too much.
trainee.
He knew what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't think he was aware of that.
Yeah.
I mean, which is weird because this man stayed with the Buster Sword on his back the whole time anyway.
That's just that, like,
So,
characters
I
aren't,
mean-
like Aerith and Sung aren't like, holy shit, that's Zack's sword.
Like,
yeah.
well, Eric knows.
Oh
Eric
yeah,
knows.
Aerith is from the future, so that's all good.
Yeah, Eric knows.
I'm
but-
sorry. She's
No,
From the
not
future?
that she's from
No.
the future.
She
just
knows what's
shit.
going on. She knows the future.
okay.
Yeah.
Foresight. All right. One gripe I do have about this shit, though, real talk, is how the fuck do they get away with most? I mean, granted, right? Like, Hyrick and everybody were baiting them for the whole first half of the game. Like, Shimmer knew what they were doing. But like that scene in like Chapter 5 where Barrett's like, "Be cool," and like you see like the security coming off the train. I'm like, this man has one for an arm. Other dudes,
Yeah,
big
like,
ass. sword on
I
his
had the
back.
same thought of like, what
He
the
just-
fuck is this?
Literally, the first time they record you going in there, and it's like, this is Avalanche. I mean, everyone knows Tifa in the slums. Cloud, yeah, like you said, giant fucking sword on his back everywhere he goes. Oh my god, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, there's little elements that I'm like, oh, that doesn't super work.
Tell you what, that is one thing. Like, gripes with the game, the amount of times it slows you down purposely so it can be cinematic. Like, get it? But my God, I don't need to walk across a goddamn beam for 30 seconds for you to load the next FMV.
I remember you saying that the other day, and I didn't agree with you but now doing the second playthrough is more relevant to me because I'm like, bro, I just need to get past this thing. And granted, I think that will be solved in the next game because it'll drop on the PS5 with an SSD, and there won't be a need for you to like waste time loading things like that. But personally, as much as I hate it, I'd rather not look at the fucking loading screen. So if they're gonna slow things down, it's better than the
Yeah, for sure. Okay, does anybody else have anything super important to say?
The worst enemy in the game is those stairs.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I took the
100%.
elevator.
no, fuck those. I saw them and I was like, nope. Like Barrett said something. Barrett was like, are you serious? I was like, no, man, we're not doing this.
I went up the whole fucking flight. I went the whole way.
You can go another way?
You can take the elevator.
Take the elevator or do the stairs.
I did the stairs because I thought it'd be funny, and it
I
was.
thought you could only do the stairs.
As soon as Barrett was like, are you serious? I was like, no, we're not. We're not about this.
It was so
elevator because I figured it was going to be the same as like in FF7 where
the original you had a choice.
And they warned you in the original, like, if you take the elevator, you're going to be fighting a lot of enemies. So in this game, I was like, yeah, I could use some more experience.
I wanted to fight them. The elevator scene is so good with that one employee. That
the woman who just freezes.
and it's like, and everybody's like, and the door just closed.
Oh, see,
And then you have Domino later being like, and you traumatized an accountant.
The mayor.
Yeah,
The
like
mayor?
Lunchbox
Tomato?
says, I think like a little bit more than the halfway point, Barrett's like, this sucks, I want to go back. and Tifa's like, oh yeah, that's real smart. Yeah, go all the way back down. Good plan. Like,
It's
because
more,
Tifa gets
it's
pissed.
more dialogue.
Well, Tifa just gets
My
pissed.
dialogue is so good, man.
Yeah.
Especially all the scenes where he's afraid of heights, like that shit.
Yeah.
That shit has.
Some of the height shit, like some of that like stuff with heights in this game, actually got me like with a little bit of vertigo. Where I was like, "Whoa, yeah."
It's
like,
scary.
Like when you're
Like,
climbing all around with Aerith.
Oh yeah,
Like
like
that, yeah.
not just that, but like the
That-
grappling gun towards the end of the game.
Oh,
Oh, that the motion capture on that was weird. Like I didn't. I couldn't do-
That was like, like I'm gonna fall. But yeah, only thing I'm gonna say before we wrap up is Biggs is super asexual. Biggs is
This is
definitely
incredibly asexual.
I've been ever since we talked about this. I've been heavily evaluating it.
Yeah.
And I do not think it hits as well. I don't think it's their intention as much originally with the Japanese
Yeah.
sub.
I think
I feel like that's an English
He's even more so gay than he does seem asexual in the Japanese.
which is fine too. I'll take either or.
I mean, you could be
But-
both.
Yeah, he could be both. But like,
Yeah.
I'll take either way.
It makes that first line of dialogue so weird though, where Jesse's like she's talking about how hot he is, and he's like, "Oh, I don't see it," and she's like, well, "I don't think you're even reading the same book." Must have been really different in Japanese.
Yeah,
Huh.
Otherwise, he should have been like, "Yeah, I get it. He's hot."
yeah.
Yeah, no, it was just it's not
played
like
different.
that. It's
Yeah.
not like that. That's-
Yeah, I'm taking this as some representation because the only other representation we got last year was a certain person saying that asexuals cause the end of the world.
What?
Yikes.
What's this from?
This is from Death Stranding.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a
yeah.
long way.
No, you guys. Kojima did not actually say that. It was
No,
one
Kojima didn't say that. It was some writer on like doing like the back half. But I was like, bruh.
And to be fair, fucking what's it called? Catherine, the whole point of the game is if you're not having sex, you deserve to die.
Exactly. Yeah, I was like, oh, fuck Catherine.
If you're not having faithful sex,
Faithful.
you deserve.
Faithful.
I mean, hey, if you play the new route, that's a
Oh, the
weirdest, but also the best route.
Yeah, the ring shit kind of crazy. But
I
we're not.
one last thing I gotta say. I haven't played it, but that new game from Obsidian apparently has like the other main character that you hang out with is Ace and is like cool, like and openly says she's asexual. So there you go. There was also
Cool.
that, but
Nice.
And if you really want representation, go play The Last of Us 2.
Let's not even go there. Let's not go there. I haven't been informed. I don't want to be.
That's another podcast.
that's a podcast for another day.
Let me say this. And I want to know how you guys feel about it as well. But I said this before. I still stand by it now. Like a whole month later, Final Fantasy VII Remake is one of my favorite Final Fantasy games of all time. One of my favorite games of all time, and top 5 of this generation for me.
Hey.
I will agree with that because I had a amazing experience with this game. Like I really didn't think it was going to be that good. I knew it was going to be good. I didn't think it was going to be that good. And
for example, my experience with this game was on the level of my experience with the new God of War game.
Yeah, we get.
I think this is easily broken my top 10, and I haven't even spent enough time with it as I've spent with other games. So I think in future it'll only go higher.
And I could say easily top 5 for me as well. And then you have P5 Royal, which is even better than P5, which is already my number 5 game of all time.
Damn.
That's a 5.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Persona 5 was like my top favorite, but like my second one was Nier Automata. That one just stuck with me. So the remake definitely surpassed Automata for me. So
my favorite game is Animal Crossing because it gives me something to show the audience in the podcast.
Cool. I know it's not your favorite game, nor is it. But is it one of your favorite games this generation?
This generation, it probably hit the top 10. It's my 3rd favorite game. Possibly of this recent times. It goes like Breath of the Wild, Persona 5, probably Final Fantasy 7 Remake. And right under that is Fire Emblem. So yeah, it's really good.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
That's just based off the gameplay. If they fuck up the story in the second one, I'll be pissed.
That's what I'm worried about.
As the story stands now, we're good. But it could. Let's not act like it can't turn into dog shit real quick.
No, it can't.
That's the exact thing. If it starts going full Kingdom Hearts, I am off the ride, and you guys can go
ending the
Kingdom
stream.
Hearts.
Bye, everybody.
I mean, to be fair, the last thing that I'll say is that I am scared 100% for this franchise, but I am also 100% excited. All right, that's it.
Give me more remasters, by the way, while you're at it. Remaster more shit.
Can we get 6? Because 6 isn't available on any other platform, but
I'd love a remake, but if you could just remaster it, that'd be great too. Either or.
6 might still be my favorite Final Fantasy.
I don't. There is a remaster. It's the mobile PC one. It's trash because it doesn't have the 8-bit sprites. I want a remake. I want a remake.
Give me.
Yeah, with FF6, they should just do a remake.
Yeah, give me.
And with what's it called? If they're gonna do Crisis Core, which they probably will, remaster it between all of these games.
Wait! Imagine Suda as Kefka.
Oh my god!
Oh, it just blew my mind.
Oh god.
Okay.
I think I need to end the stream. Something just happened.
Goodbye, everybody. We'll catch you in the next Isekai podcast. Everybody say bye-bye. Bye.